Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we discuss everything relationship, and I'm your host, Franca. Tonight on the show with me, I have Sajo, Barrister Joe Eboigbe. Sajo, are you there? Hello, Sajo.
Good to. I
Sajo,
am.
pass.
Thank you for
Okay.
having us.
And then we have a new co-host, Okoli Chente. Chente, how now?
I'm fine. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's great to be here. Very,
I
very
can
great to be here.
tell it's been a while. I think I've not seen you this year. I saw you last year.
Yeah,
How
last
are you?
year, ending of last
Ending
year.
of last year, yeah. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Okay, okay,
Getting myself together. But yeah, I'm doing great.
okay, okay. Sajo, how the hustle?
We cannot complain.
Okay, today we're having a very interesting conversation regarding parents and child bonding, and then where to draw the limits. Where to cross, where to say, oh, this is what it is. And I'm happy I have two guys with me because it's like saying our men they really give issue for this bonding matter. You know, but I
Okay.
want to start with Chinte. Chinte, you're a mental health therapist, and I am sure that you see what's going on. I feel that for you to be a therapist, you are more emotional than the regular guy. I want to believe because being a therapist is not something male therapists are not something will come by just easily. So can you share what your opinion is on parenting, bonding, and where to draw the line?
Hmm.
Mm.
So, I don't know if am I gonna refer to our topic of like to the video that you did send,
No, not necessarily.
or
I just want you to tell me generally what you think about it. That was just a
oh,
video that came across that we can discuss much later. But just tell me,
okay,
as a
okay,
counselor, you
okay.
as a therapist.
Hmm. So I think that I think in fact in our African context, right?
Okay.
I feel like a lot of us need to learn parenting, right? We need to
Okay.
learn a lot of things that we've been taught about parenting, right? There's a lot that we have to unlearn, most importantly, and there's a lot that we have to, relearn when it comes to parenting and, bonding with your child and everything, right? Because I think being born in a Nigerian household, right? I always tell people, I think the fact that you are born in an African household is that most importantly, sometimes you're born into trauma, right? Because there's just so much that you have to go through. There are a lot of us that we didn't grow up with both parents, right? Or we grew up with both parents, but one was detached, is always some of the times it's always like our mothers that has been there. Sometimes our fathers have not been there. And so when new couples come to me, they want to seek maybe premarital counseling and all of that, right? I do tell them, right, what are the things that you already know about parenting? Let me get your idea and let's see how we can go from there. So I think in the Nigerian context, right, there's a lot that we need to learn about parenting, right? There's a lot that we need to learn about bonding with your children because it's really, really important to understand that both the mother and the father play a role in a child's life. It's important to understand that both the mother and the father play a role in a child's life. So when it comes to bonding, and parenting, I think that it's a topic that we need to talk about more often because we have a lot of people now going into marriages and without the right idea about how to truly parent or how to bond with your kids, right? I think that a lot of cycles are going to repeat itself because people would not learn or they will not unlearn a lot of things that they think that it's normal. So because of my father did this to me, it's normal for me to project that on my own child, right? So I think there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. If I'm going to say it like that, there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to unlearn, most importantly, but there's a lot to learn. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, Sajo, what's the importance? So, I understand the parent and child relationship, but that word bonding, how important is it in parenting?
Okay, you see, from birth, it is very important for the overall growth and mental development of the child that you bond with your child. It's very important that you are present in their life. Over time, we have said that that is the core reason why it is very rare to have great men or great parents producing great children. Now, the distinguishing factor in producing successful and great children is that aspect of bonding. Bonding can never be overemphasized in the growth and development of children, particularly from both parents, because over time you hear people say, oh, parent A or parent B should bond more. No. For proper stability, you need the father aspect of bonding, which is distinct from the mother's aspect of bonding. It's very important, I would say, over time that like Mr. Okoli said, there's need to unlearn and relearn. But more important than learning and unlearning is the decision you've made to become a parent must adequately be tied to your willingness to make sacrifices to bond with your children, particularly at their early age through teenage age and then to early adulthood. Because it is the quantum of investment of time and resources that you put into the life of that child that will determine how he relates with you as he grows older and become a bit distant, not because he wants to, but responsibility will tend to distance him. So yes, I would say it's very important to have very good bonding with your children. However, I'm sure as we progress in this discourse, we'll go into the extremes, the lines, the fine lines, the limitations of bonding, the attempt to the expression of affection that may become detrimental to the growth and development of the child. So, but I'll wait on you that when we get to that bridge, I'm sure we have
We'll have
our
okay,
canoe
yeah.
to cross.
Okay, so Chente, you mentioned that we need to learn and unlearn certain things, right? So from your own point of view, what do you think, regarding what do you think is that thing regarding parenting? Not really parenting. I don't want to discuss parenting. It's the bonding. What is that thing that you think needs to be relearned? As in, we need to unlearn and relearn. Because I think there are significant things that, we would address, regarding bonding. What are those things as a therapist that are very important in this conversation that you think we need to unlearn and relearn?
So I think I'll start from how you show up for your children, right? I think that is one of the places that I want to start from, right? How do you show up for them? Because I think most of the time, or I would use my childhood father, as an example, right? And I would say that I think my both parents showed up for me in different ways, right? Now they did show up, but they showed up in different ways. Now I wish that maybe one particular parent had shown up, more consistently than the others, but I think one of the things that we need to unlearn when it requires bonding, because it felt like, now I'm speaking as a man, right? And the idea of, what the man brings to the table in the African context, right? So you are seeing that the man is the person that is going out to hustle. The man is the person that, they do not really see too often, right? The man is the person that, is the person that will do the finances. They don't see him so often, but the mother is the person that is always present, right? Now, I totally understand that. But I think that growing up, a lot of men might have done it wrongly in the sense of they are now too focused on the fact that they have to show up or they have to, meet up something, or they have to hustle, that they forget that it's also important for you to bond with your children. Because as I said earlier, the two parents, they are, how do I put this now? Both the mother and the father, right? They have different roles to play in the child's life, right? No matter how you want to put it, both the mother and the father, they have different roles to play in the child life. And there's a way that I like to define trauma as, right? Trauma is not just what happened to you, but trauma can also mean what you didn't receive as you were growing up. So if you didn't receive some certain type of affection or bonding from a particular parent, that can result to trauma. It can result to how you relate to people in your, in your adult years, right? And so I always say that in the sense of, it's important that as a father, right, that, because now I'm speaking, I'm showing the light, to the father, because I think that most importantly in the African, context, it's more like the father that do not really, really, they are the people that do not really, really have this affection or do not really bond with their kids. It's always the mother, as I said, it's always the mother that is always present. So I think it's important that one of the things that you unlearn is how you show up for your kids as a man or as a father. How do you show up for them? How, or what are the things that you do apart from you fulfilling some of the roles and for some of the duties that you've taken up in the household? How do you show up for your kids? How are you there for them? How do you tell them that you are also present for them, right? Not just, this is not you neglecting the fact that you have to do some certain things, but also you understanding that and also looking for how to complement things. That is one of the one of the places that I wanted to talk about, right? Which is, how do you show up for them? I think we need to unlearn how we have shown up for our kids as a man in the past, and we need to relearn that it's also okay for me to be present as a father. It's okay for me to be present, as a father. And I'm going to, I'm going to stop there as you continue.
Okay, that's fine. Let's quickly go on the break. When we come back, Sir Joe will lecture us on several other things.
Be right back.
This season on Heartlines, we're committed to making a difference in people's lives. So Heartlines, in partnership with Reda Consult, is offering 12 free slots of counseling every quarter for people in need of professional counseling. Additionally, we're taking on 2 pro bono cases for individuals navigating a challenging divorce. To participate, please send an email to counsel@vedaconsult.com with your story. Our team will carefully review all submissions and will contact all the shortlisted candidates. Heartlines is live Mondays to Fridays at 10 p.m. So engage with us.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
Thanks for staying with us on Heartlines.
Okay, so please note that you can share your story with us on our WhatsApp number 081 90384663, or you can call in to join in this conversation on 07025007749 or 07014242420. And please, 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 please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Okay, so before we went on the break, Chente explained how men should show up for the kids. When it comes to bonding, I feel that the way you bond with your kids, male or female, like I think you bond differently with each child or the gender. Sergio, you have 3 boys. Do you treat the 3 of them the same way, or because of their different or they have different personalities and it affects or that determines how you bond with your kids?
Okay, before I go straight into your question, Franca. Now, there's really no book knowledge on how to bond with children.
Okay.
But you must try to target their psycho-emotional needs. So straight to your question, indeed, you would have to bond with each child differently, put into consideration his needs and his person. However, over time, I've discovered that we tend to misrepresent the idea of bonding as though it is all about engaging the emotional needs of children. I do not think that is what bonding is.
Okay.
And I also very strongly believe that the bonding required from a father is completely different from the bonding required from a mother. Now, directly on my boys, as a father, the needs I need, the core that I need to attend to in their lives will be completely different from what I think my wife should attend to. For instance, if we go fishing, it's bonding. If we go gaming, it's bonding. If we decide to go watch a game together, maybe a football game, as one of my sons is seriously into football, not soccer, football, that could also be bonding. We could even take a quiet evening walk, which we do regularly. Pick one of them each time, take a walk, sit by the park, have some deep conversation on what is going on in his life. You'll be shocked what will be revealed and how much of your presence they would need or how much of your attention they require to attend or to address some issues that they're personally dealing with. So for me, bonding must be tailored to the needs of the children individually or to needs of the individual child. What child A would require may be different from what child B would require. So as a parent, you need to sit down, be present. First of all, you need to be present in their life to understand what their needs are. And once you have discovered what their needs are, then create time for them. It could even be sitting down and just playing table tennis together.
Okay.
Or watching a movie. Or, oh, Daddy, I want you to join me in this video game. I know you can help me move to the next level. So that is basically what bonding is. There's really no book. And I say to everybody, as it is with every human relationship, there is no script as to how to interact or interface with any human being. Study, understand, and then apply.
Okay. I totally agree with you.
Study, understand, apply.
Apply. I agree with you. Now, Sajo, what are the advantages of this bonding in question? Is it to make the child more comfortable? Is it supposed to make the child, because I see that some people do not understand what bonding is, and they have abused that word bonding and spoiled their children. They indulge the children in certain things, and they think they are bonding with the children, you know. So my question now is, what, at the end of the day, when you bond with a child, what is it supposed to, how is it supposed to affect the child? Is it supposed to make the child a better person? Is it supposed to make the child more confident? Is it supposed to improve your relationship with the child? You know, so what is the sole aim of bonding with children?
Now, the sole purpose of bonding with a child
Yes.
or with children is to
Your
give
kids.
them all-round developments.
Okay.
Now, you could have sub from this definition. It could be to give them a balanced understanding of life. It could give them resilience. It could give them more self-confidence on who they are. Maybe at a point in their life they felt they were treated less, or for some reason, for those of us who have kids on the other side of the globe, they could be battling some image problem. And when you bond with them and remind them of how important they are to humanity and how the world needs them, what they need external validation, then that could also help in their confidence and their self-esteem. But ultimately, the one who benefits more from bonding is the parents. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Much as you want to give the child an all-round development to better his mind, to improve his self-esteem, at the end of the day, the extent to which you give will determine the extent to which you would receive when you will need them much later in your life. Because now is a very busy hours of our life. We're busy trying to, some are pursuing careers, some are consolidating, some are interested in new businesses. We are all very busy parents now. In our 60s and maybe, yeah, in our 60s, we will become less busy, and that is when we need the children. I'll give you an instance. Some years back, I went to a friend, a very good friend of mine in Abuja. And I was like, we were talking generally. It was like, how the kids, I said, man, those boys, they'll holler too much. You know, I went on and on about, man, how they will scatter the house, how they will make us, I kept on with the how they will. This guy, my senior friend, did not respond. He didn't say a word. He was just looking at me. And at a point he said, Joe, enjoy this time. You will miss it. He said, Joe, enjoy this time, you will miss it. He said, I can give anything to have this house scattered right now. Because his kids were all grown, married, and they were no longer around. He said, I practically beg. I call for days, I call for weeks to have lunch with my son. To ask my daughters to come see me over the weekend. So at the end of the day, a child you did not develop that relationship with when he required it will not see you as one he will come back to when you are now in need of his attention and care. So ultimately, you are investing in an act which will benefit you much later in your life. That's what bonding would give to you as a parent. And what bonding will give to the kids, of course, we have already highlighted.
I totally agree with you. In fact, I'm of that school of thought as well. Okay, so Chente, is Chente back? Chente, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so Chente, as a therapist, have you had scenarios that you might want to share of where parents, maybe an issue where maybe there was a problem in the bonding method or style that affected the child?
In fact, right, just listening to Sajo, right, I would 100% agree with him because now I've seen clients now, right? I've seen clients now come in, and because of what they are going through, we could tie it down to some form of childhood trauma. Remember, when I was explaining earlier, I said trauma can also be you not being given what you are meant to be given as a child. So as a child, if you do not get the exact amount of love that you're meant to receive from both parents, you might grow up and you might feel like, you might feel some certain way, right? You might feel like you're not enough. If my parents were not able to give me this love, I mean, I'm not sure that I really, really deserve love. Or maybe you are a child that grew up in a place where either your mom or your dad left, right? I've seen a lot of people come back, and when we tie it down, we see that them always running away from every circumstance where they get to be vulnerable with somebody or they get to be intimate with another. They are afraid because they feel like at the end of the day, every single person is going to leave them like their parents did leave them. So there's no need for them to commit to that because they are scared of abandonment, right? So in a lot of scenarios, most of the things that we struggle now as adults, and I've seen it in countless scenarios, right? Most of the things that we struggle now as adults, right? We can tie it to childhood trauma, right? We can always tie it to childhood trauma. Personally, right? Just like Sajo said, right? Personally, there were times where, because I mean, I grew up in an African household, obviously, and then it was in that scenario where dad was always hustling. He was somebody that was always for the bills. We never lacked anything. To be honest, we never lacked anything. It was always you wanted anything, school fees, anything that you want. We went to the best of schools. Flew outside the country. Had the best of studies and every single thing that we wanted. But you see that intimate one-on-one bond with our dad, we never had it. And so what happened was that when we finally became adults, right? When we finally became adults, he wanted to have that same bond. Sometimes he would want to come and sit and talk, and we are like, it's weird to speak with him because I never had that type of thing. Do you get? At a point, I think he started saying that we are better talking with our mom than anything. Even as we're growing up, he was like, that is it not you people go and talk to your mom and ask her for anything. You're always, and I'm like, my mom was always like, it's because of you don't sit down with them, you don't speak with them, you don't have a connection with them. And so even in adulthood, it's really hard for him to have that bond. Sometimes we can just be sitting down and then everywhere becomes very silent, everywhere becomes so weird. It has to be intentional for me to want to bring up a conversation and for us to talk. So it happens. It happens because when they grow up, because of they didn't find that bond, they're not gonna, it's not when somebody have their own life, when somebody is trying to figure out themselves that they are now still going to be connecting with you. That time has actually passed. So I think it's really important. It can affect them. It can affect their child. It can affect how they even relate with other people. There are a lot of scenarios, right, where I have seen that where people come for therapy and it was because of maybe a love that they did not get or a bonding that they did not really experience as a child that have led them to them feeling like they are not enough, right? Or they are not deserving or they are not worthy. So
Okay.
yeah, in a lot of scenarios, it's important for you to bond with your kids because it communicates something to them. It does
Okay.
that. It communicates that I see you, I'm here for you, you are enough. You don't have to prove yourself. There is one thing, I also want to share this, and I'm sorry that I'm taking too
No,
long,
it's
right?
fine. It's fine. Just
There is one thing, right, that you know which our parents did to us, right, which is like you have to attain to a certain level before you get a certain thing, right? Like you have to maybe want to carry first before you are giving something or before you are shown a type of love, right? And that thing can affect them. I've seen a lot of people come for therapy and they're like, they don't know why they are just fast-paced. but it's always life is like a give and take. And when it boiled down, it was like they had to, before they received some type of love or some type of bonding with their parents, it was that they had gotten, or they had to like maybe carry first or do something spectacular for them to be shown some type of love. That can already prove to them that you are not enough. You have to do something for you to be enough. You have to give something to take something. And so somebody grows up as an adult and they feel like nothing comes easy to them. His life is a give and take. So if somebody just loves them unconditionally, they don't think like you can love them unconditionally. No, you can't. Who are you to love me unconditionally? Maybe you want something at the end. So, let me just be keeping my coins. Let me put my legs somewhere, because at the end of the day, you still ask me for something. And a lot of adults growing with that mentality that life is a give and take. If you trace it down, you see that it had a lot of things to do with childhood, how they were raised, what they were told, how they were appreciated, how they were showing love, right? How their parents bonded with them, how they put to them that you are enough just by you existing, just by me bringing you to this world. I already love you. You don't have to prove yourself for me to express some certain type of love to you. So
Okay.
yes, I think it has a lot. It has a whole lot to do.
Okay.
That's a
Now
whole
we
lot
have
to do.
discussed. Now we have discussed the whole bonding and all that. Now we're saying, where do we draw the line? This is where we come to the video I sent to you. Chente, what do you think is wrong with that video?
So, to be honest, immediately I saw the video, there's just a type of cringe. Like I was like, "Ah." And my instinct was like, where is the mother? Like to be, and I don't mean that to say like, maybe the mother is neglectful or something, but it's like I'm not sure like the mom would be here and they would allow something like this to happen. Like it was cringy in a lot of ways. I saw a lot of irresponsibility. I saw a lot of I don't even know how to explain it, but it was too much. It was an eyesore. It was so much for me. It was so much
Okay,
for
but
me.
Chente, why
I
didn't you
was
see
like,
that as bonding and a father trying to make a child happy?
no, that is actually where you draw the line, because what are you trying to teach that child? What are you trying to teach that child?
Okay.
That
So
is
that
not
means,
bonding. What are
so
you
that's not
trying to
bonding for
teach
you.
that
That's
child?
a no-no for you.
That's a no-no.
Okay.
What are you trying? So the idea is, what are you trying to? So in doing that, what are you trying to instill in that child? What are you trying to teach them? That it's okay for you to touch an adult like that? What are you trying to communicate to that child? Because the essence of bonding is that you want to at least teach that child something positive that will help them grow. So what are you trying to teach that child by doing that? It doesn't make sense, in every way it is wrong.
Okay. Sajo, please, I also shared the same video with you. Sajo, did you see the video I shared with you?
Yes, I did.
So, Sajo, do you think that's bonding?
First of all, I do not know why that young man has not been arrested. That is child abuse.
Okay.
Very true.
If we were in a civilized crime, that man should be arrested and that child should be um, taken from him, because he
Okay.
does not understand what it is to raise a child and he does not have the capacity
Okay.
to be with a child.
Okay.
There's no that can be at the most expound definition of bonding. There's nothing in that can fall under bonding.
Okay.
You see, in every relationship and interaction you have with a child, you must first of all put forth your core duties. Your core duty is to provide, protect, and guide. Provide, protect, and guide. And then to an extent, in guiding your teaching, you are uh, positioning the child to face life challenges. Now, I do not see any lesson that child stands to gain from such stupid and grossly irresponsible acts.
Very true.
Now, more irritating and annoying was his reaction to the act. And frankly, if we were in a proper society, that guy should be behind bars as we speak right now.
Okay, so he has.
And nobody can tell me that the child rights laws of Lagos State provide does not make sufficient provisions for that child to be withdrawn. We have social services in Lagos State that should actually come on board and interface and interact with that act.
Okay. So Sajo, he has come out.
I'll call you Franca.
Yeah.
I'll come to that. You see, we entertain and encourage so many untoward behavior in social media in Nigeria.
Okay.
To the extent that you hardly would find the core value of social media. It is just annoying, even discussing that irresponsible acts.
Okay. Sajo, so he has come out with a statement, and I'm very sure it was shown on the screen. I'm going to read what he said. He said, well, internet is a space combined with foolish, wise, and normal people. Let's leave that first. I posted a video of me and my daughter that was not even up to 2 years old on Snapchat, where she was touching my nipple and I was making funny sounds like peacock. The replies I was getting on Snapchat were really very funny. A lot of people were laughing out loud, but the moment that video got to Instagram, they immediately changed the whole story. They said I was molesting my own child, coming from the people that do what's behind closed doors. Born pikin make you see how foolish you go dey just to make them happy. I am not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all because I'm in a country where 99% watch porn on a daily basis, and it sucks. It is stuck in their head, and they still pretend to be saints. I posted that video myself because I felt like I wasn't doing anything wrong. But online mommy and daddy took it serious. Make una no vex, it no go happen again. Don't forget, I wrote all this because of my daughter, Charis. Because of Charis's image. Say na me una talk rubbish about, una no go hear. Una know say I no go really send anybody. That was the response from the father. Sajo, did you hear that?
You want me to speak to that? I heard. You want me to speak to that?
First of all, like,
please feel free to speak to that.
Okay.
First of all, we need to delete
first of
that
all,
Snapchat app.
you see that his Franca, should I speak or you want to talk?
No, okay, so Chente, just hold your thoughts. Sajo, speak.
Yeah, okay.
Now, his opener described him. He represents a foolish set of persons in the social media space. And his co-foolish persons were on his Snapchat space and hate him. Then there were some normal and wise people that corrected him
on Instagram.
At Instagram. Now, it is only a foolish person of such imbecilic nature that can see touching of nipple by a 2-year-old child as doing things to make your child happy. Now,
sad.
Unfortunately, and even more worrisome is that this guy is an Edo man, I think. And it's disheartening to be described as one that is from the same extraction with persons who hold tradition and custom at the highest esteem. He went on to say that 99% of Nigerians watch porn.
Mm-hmm.
it has to do with his space and the type of persons he interfaces and interacts with. Those group of foolish people, they make up that is 99%. Because I do not know where he gets statistics that 99% of Nigerians watch pornography. Does he even know what that means? Does he even know what that means? That means 9.9 of every 10 persons you see on the streets are busy watching pornography. How dumb can that be?
That's why it's stuck in their head. When they see things like that, it's just stuck in their head. I
Yes,
have to do with pornography.
and it's talking. It is him. It is if you see how he was reacting, you know that he's already debased. And he's from a dysfunctional background, which unfortunately wants to transplant or transmit into the innocent 2-year-old child.
Really
if he
sad.
knows the extent of damage that is due to that child's psychology and how exposed and a danger that child will become when those predators of men begin to come around her, ask her to touch their nipple, and in turn touch hers. Yes, because it is. Oh man, see, Franca, I'm really disgusted. We have an adage.
I said exactly the same thing yesterday, where I said that
there's an adage. There's an Edo adage that says it's better spoken in pidgin English. You know, I like to take it the pidgin way if I'm discussing Edo issues. I say pikin fit use a mama breast play, but not be papa. There's a limit to what you can give to a child as a plaything.
Yeah.
They're certainly not your nipple. And they are reacting. What was that for? What exactly was that for?
Peacock sound.
Peacock sound.
And then you had the effort to post that in a social media where every person will see. And then to show how debased you are, you come to the conclusion and say that, oh, it's for my daughter. If it was me, I not send you. How do we allow such persons to become influencers in our space?
That's what social media has.
We have issues to deal with in this country.
Oh, seriously, Sergio, we had the conversation regarding social media and the space, and it's good that this thing is happening around the same time we're having this conversation, because I honestly had this conversation yesterday, and I was saying that if for that child who is less than 2, for her it's just fun. She goes to school, and then a teacher who is a pedophile says, "Come and touch my nipple." She won't see anything wrong in that. She will do exactly the same thing because for her it's fun. And she will do, but so you see, now we're in no reach in pidgin English. Now we're in no reach, but it's sad that if you say we're in no reach, now there it end. It's really terrible when you see this kind of things and people endorse it, because he said people were laughing on Snapchat. So people were laughing and saying, oh, this is funny. So that tells you the percentage of people who are sick in this society. You understand? Chente, you were going to say something.
But Franca, there will be like minds in a Snapchat. I don't know how Snapchat operates, but I think it is your likes that you Snapchat with.
No, but funny enough.
And then my major problem is how he is arrogantly exhibiting his ignorance in a public space.
But honestly, the thing about social media is even the people who are not happy with what you're doing, because they are not sure if they would get, if some people are scared to say the truth because they don't want people to attack them. So you see people are laughing at his stupidity, not because it's funny. You could be laughing, but you're laughing at that person's stupidity, not because the person is actually making you or doing something funny. You're laughing at the person's stupidity because the person doesn't understand what he is doing. But it's really sad that he actually, whatever he did is terrible. But I think the fact that he even came out with this letter or whatever he did is appalling, But Chente, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, so what I wanted to say is, I think him and everybody on Snapchat should be put in jail. Because maybe Snapchat is the problem. Maybe everybody on that Snapchat, maybe all of them, they are like mine. Because, how do you even... And it's the audacity in the apology. is the audacity. Like, I was just asking myself the question. I was like, I think we need to be giving parenting classes. Like, I think it's important. Like, as you get married, immediately you want to be a parent, right? We should give parenting class. So, what do they teach in premarital counseling, please? What do they teach in marriage counseling if they are not teaching all of these things? That's what I was asking. Like, what do they teach there? Because if somebody can be comfortable doing this and still come out to say it is even because of his daughter, that means there's no remorse. That means this person did not even find what he did as something that is terrible. There is a problem somewhere.
Oh,
There is a
definitely.
problem.
Definitely there's a problem. And another thing I think is going on is, you know, growing up, parents just used to, leave their kids, for the community to train, you know. So a lot of parents were not intentional initially. So you find that in a community and the villagers nine train us, because growing up you even be you won't go, you're not gonna fear your parents, but you're gonna fear your neighbor. You understand? Because if your neighbor catch you, you are in trouble. Because I'm sure you have a way of manipulating your own parents. But you can't get away with that with your neighbors. But now, I don't know. I think people are just, again, I don't want to even discuss social media, but I think people are just carried away with so many stupid things, in my opinion, that they have failed to do the needful. A lot of, I see parents doing all sorts. That takes us to the video of, there's a video of Ashake and his father online. That's another issue of bonding. When I see parents come out on social media to talk about their children, I don't get it. So this young man comes out to say he's Ashake's father and that Ashake has not been taking care of him. You understand? And in response to the man, Ashake comes and sings one of his songs, saying that he sends the man money all the time. Now, again, is this also a result of lack of bonding in parenting? Sajo?
It is first of all laziness and entitlement mentality
Of the father or what?
of the father. First of
Okay.
it is not your child's duty to take care of you.
Sajo, you want
That is
cause
not his
problem?
responsibility.
Sajo, you want to cause problem?
Yes.
Papa go train you
No,
finish.
no,
This will not be.
no. See, my father, through his life, never demanded money from me. But let me also try to tie this with bonding, right? Because children learn from what you do than what you say, right? If because of growing up, whilst you were bonding with them, they see you every now and then do things for your dad, send money to your dad, take them to go visit your dad, watch you take care of the man at his old age, they will do the same for you. Naturally. So the idea of sitting back to say, oh, my child not take care of me. First of all, it is not his duty. Let's clear that out. It's not his duty. You are to make provisions for your life throughout your lifetime. That is why we have retirement savings. That's why we invest. What you need is the love and attention of your children when you are old, not money to take care of your needs. If you had invested in Ashake, if you also know his story, he probably would not be a musician. And if he did not invest in himself through the streets, he probably will not make the much he has made through music. Sometimes it is the absence of parenting or the total lack of parental responsibility that push them into becoming what they are. And then you now in turn want to benefit from a child you want to invest in because you wear that toga of I'm a father. My dear sister,
Not the work.
not be the boy responsible. to take care of you, not be duty. Now you, the only person between father and child who has that responsibility, and for a period, is the father. You have the responsibility to take care of your children until they get to adulthood. And once they get to adulthood, it is not their duty. If they are kind enough, they give you. If they not give you, not go social. What are you even going to social media to do? To tell them that your son is not taking care of you? Are you a cripple?
Okay. Okay,
Are
so
you
Chente.
ill?
Oh, okay. Chente, what's your take on that Ashake and his father's video?
See, I'm going to break a table. If you like, come for me. If you like, don't. But most African parents, children are their investments.
Okay, true. I agree with you.
Children are their investments.
Okay.
They are burning and burning and burning. In fact, if you burn 10, you are like, you have 10 investments, not knowing that, what if these people do not look at you at the end of the day?
Okay.
And the worst thing is that, if they now born you, some of them will just neglect you. I don't know the backstory between Ashake and his dad, right? But from how that man's, from how he sounded and from everything that is going on, right? I don't think that he was like I don't know, allegedly, I don't know, right? But from the way he sounded, because the thing is that if you show your
Allegedly.
love, if you show your kids love, let's just be truthful. If you are a present parent, your kid will show up for you. No matter how stingy your son or your daughter is, right? If you are a present parent, right, your kid will show up for you.
I agree with you.
If Ashake is not treating that man how he should be treated, then there was something wrong in parenting. It's just the truth. There was something wrong. I'm not going to carry my investment, all my money, all the things that I've worked for and hustled for and give it to somebody that neglected me, somebody that treated me like as if I was something else. I'm not going to do that, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, I'm not going to do that, right?
Good.
I'm not going to, no matter if you like, you neglected me. It was possibly me, maybe my mother that brought me to this place. Do you understand? Like, or the street that made me what I am. All of a sudden, because I'm you, because of you, just do 2 seconds, you think that you have power over me. Come on, guys, sit down. Sincerely.
Okay,
sincerely,
so based on what you said, so Chente, based on what you just said, so you think that Bruna Boy and the mother have a fantastic relationship?
Very true. Very true. You will see it from the onset. See, you will see it. Their bonding, I think, is something that is natural. It's not something that maybe as they grow that they is natural. Have you seen the way I saw a video of both of them together, and the way
we don't have time and it's weekend. Chente, you have to come on the show more. Sergio, we don't have time. They're already singing our goodbye song, and then it's Friday. So, but it was really nice having you guys on the show, and it was a very good conversation. Please, 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 please. I don't know why we don't have time again. The way the clock ticks, you know. But we'll be back again next week. It's Friday. We have to go home and rest. But we'll be back again on Monday, and we'll have very interesting conversations. But pending when we come back, make sure you send us an email. You send us an email on whatever it is you're going through. And like I always say, there's one person. In fact, Sergio is part of our people who would help you, counsel you, talk to you. Chente, people are here to help you get past whatever it is you're going through. So please, 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 please send us an email. Our email address is counsel@vedaconsult.com. See you guys next week.